Hello guys, welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled Extra. And our big game preview for this week, it's Southampton versus league leaders Coventry City. I'm joined by Lee Trundle and Callum Fowler to preview this massive game. Interestingly, Southampton are the favourites for this game at the time of recording, 5-4 to win this one to Coventry, 7-4, and a draw is 12-5. Seems to be the way when a parachute team is at home, even against the league leaders, that they're kind of well fancied, Callum.
Well, you said that before we started, didn't you? Obviously, it went to Ipswich and lost 3-0, so I guess they've got a solid reason to do it. But I'm surprised. Coventry have had a little bit of a blip, haven't they? A little bit, but that's 2 games we had to win. We come back and got one against Bristol City. I am surprised that Southampton are favourites, not lying to you.
Yeah, it's interesting from Southampton's point of view as well. They lost to Norwich at the weekend, and obviously not many teams have lost to Norwich this season with where they've been at. But there's a lot of quality in the squad, and you mentioned a team coming down from the Premier League. Always going to be tough to beat with the quality they've got.
Yeah, it is, and I expected them to be right in the mix as well at the start of the season with the quality they've got, the manager that they brought in at the time. You'd expect them to be up there challenging. It hasn't worked out, but seem to be picking up a little bit. But still, I am still surprised that Coventry aren't favourites, because even though it is an away game, I would still fancy Coventry on that.
We've mentioned earlier in the week on the Sportsman Title show that Coventry give up a lot of chances though, and I think there's a case to be made that potentially that defence needs to solid up. They kept a clean sheet, but that was mainly down to Carl Rushworth against Bristol City. Still gave up a lot of chances. Feels like Southampton will certainly want to exploit that.
You'd think they'd score, wouldn't you? Just because of the amount of chances that you do go up against sides that aren't scoring as many as Southampton are. And despite they've not had best start of their all, but they'll have the joint third top goal scorers only behind Coventry and all, the joint with Ipswich. So they know where net is. Defensively there's issues, so you'd go for both teams really. But Southampton have got some proper quality. How do you say his name?
Leo Cienza.
Yeah,
we like Leo Cienza.
Great player, he's good.
Yeah, and Finn Azaz and Adam Armstrong as well. Yeah. Obviously Armstrong missed a penalty the weekend, but top quality players. Little stat for you, Lee. Southampton have scored 3 goals in their last 4 games at home. That's Sheffield Wednesday, Leicester, West Brom, Birmingham. Scored 3 goals in each of them and seem to be really producing under Tonda Eckert in front of their own fans.
Yeah, it is, and that's probably where the odds come from. Yeah. If you look at that, you look at that, they create chances at home. Not only do they create them, they put them away as well. And as we've spoke about Coventry, where they give them chances. And I know we say Rushworth is a quality keeper, but you can't rely on your keeper to pull you out of it every single time. There will be a time where he might have an off day or he just can't get to them strikes. So if Southampton are scoring that many goals, Coventry are conceding that many chances, the chances are there definitely will be goals in it, and that's where we've got these odds where Southampton are going to win the game. And
Swansea had Carl Rushworth for a bit on loan. Obviously he was a younger keeper there. How did he fare at Swansea, and have you been impressed with him coming on to Coventry? Yeah,
really impressed. As I say, when he went back to Brighton, and it was someone that we wanted to keep. Or he was a fan's favourite, as you say, with the saves that he made. Especially for a youngster coming in, he was unbelievable, and I'm glad to see him doing really well, because I think he deserves to be playing at that level and seen.
Absolutely, and 2 Barnsley boys at the back for Cov, Kitchen and Thomas. Come to you on them. They're aggressive, is what I really like about the centre backs. We do give up chances. I'm not saying it's necessarily their fault, but they'll fight with absolutely everyone. Yeah. Sinclair Armstrong at the weekend was getting ragged about because they want to scrap.
Yeah, but then at the same time, Barnes the boy up front for Southampton in Armstrong. So I wonder how they'll deal with someone who wants to stretch you a bit and get in behind you a little bit, as opposed to someone that's physical. Because Kitchen and Thomas love that, don't they? So if it's someone that's going to make them run and drag them out of position a bit, I don't think he gets credit he deserves, Armstrong, because I do think he's very good for this level. Are we gaslighting us into thinking Southampton are going to win now? Is that what we're talking us into it?
Change it. We need to talk about Coventry's attack then, maybe to balance it a bit. 52 goals in 21 games. It's absolutely exceptional. You look at someone like Hadji Wright performing really well. Thomas Asante's come into the team and done well. Mason Clark. I mean, it's a striker's dream, isn't it, playing in an attack like that?
Oh, unbelievable. And I think even before you go into games, you put the fear into defences when you score that many goals. Because, we know how hard it is to score a goal. So not only the goals scored, imagine how many chances they're creating off the back of that as well. They're on the attack all the time, always a threat going forward. And when you get them chances, as a defender, you would think, you can't give a chance away because these will take the chance and a goal will be scored against you. So really impressed with Coventry this season. Think that they're doing great and they're an exciting team to watch as well, because we all watch football to see goals, and when they're scoring that many goals, they're certainly a team that you want to watch.
I think it's interesting from a Coventry perspective is the way that other players have come into the team and stepped up, even when it looks like we've had quite a limited squad depth. I mean, Ellis Sims, most fans weren't a big fan of his. He's done so well off the bench. He won Player of the Month in the Championship in November, and now he's had to come back out of the side for Hadji Wright. I think there's a real will. When Rodoni was out, Thomas Asante came in and scored a lot
that's
of goals.
The main one, isn't it? Like, Rodoni's probably your best player from last year. Been injured all the way through, and you're still top by a mile.
Yeah, it's been exceptional. I think that's where Lampard deserves massive credit. Yeah. I think he obviously had his critics when he was appointed, but he's silenced a lot of them, Callum.
Yeah, you score such a variety of goals as well, which I like. It's not like you're heavily reliant on one thing. And I'd always reference Leicester with this, because if they can't score from edge at box, I just don't think they look very cracking other than that. Coventry scores so many different ones, and when you've got that many players going forward, if Southampton are going to play 3 at back, I do worry for them a little bit.
Yeah, interestingly, the last Coventry played against Preston, who played 3 at the back and drew 1-1, which was a difficult game. And then they played Bristol City, who played 3 at the back at the weekend. So it's the 3rd game in a row playing 3 at the back. And Coventry have only scored 2 goals, which for their standards is actually not that great. So it'd be an interesting tactical lineup.
But if it's sort of like Southampton aren't going to come and go for a draw against you like Preston maybe would, or Bristol City would at yours, if they're going to try and proper put it on you, which they are, there's a lot of spacing behind them then, isn't there?
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to watch. I think there'll be goals in this game. I want to also talk to you, Swansea, obviously big part of your life, about Matt Grimes, captain at Swansea. Coventry managed to sign him captain at Coventry now and kind of making everything tick for them as well.
Yeah, great footballer, great experience. He controls the game well. When he left Swansea, the fans weren't happy, but I think that goes down to the player that Grimes is as well. Great professional, great player, and for him to come into Coventry, get the captaincy, and then to be top of the league with them, and he is a massive part of the way they play. He's someone who drops deep, wants to get on the ball. He will set up a lot of attacks, and I think with the players that he's got at Coventry, when he drops deep and he plays that ball forward, they've got so many people going forward who can cause you problems. You can sort of like forgive him dropping into the back 4 to get the ball. Where at Swansea, he probably dropped into that back 4 a lot, and because we never had them options where they were going to hurt you going forward, sometimes we lost that body in midfield as well because he was too deep. But the way it's set up at Coventry, it's working brilliant for him, because he's got them players in front of him that when they get the ball, they just want to attack and score goals.
I think the fullbacks play a massive part in that, in Van Eyck and De Silva, because they're barely defending when Grimes is dropping in, so it's more of a back 3 he drops into, and it's working really, really nicely. What was the situation about him leaving, by the way? Was that kind of rubbed Swansea fans up the wrong way a bit, even though he was such a good, what was it, nearly 10 years at the club? Great
servant for the football club, done brilliant. I just think when he was leaving, we were in a little bit of trouble as well. We were down the bottom of the league, and it looked as though we could be going into a relegation battle. So I think that was part of it, sort of, you're jumping ship, and that's where the fans' anger come from. But from Grimes, if you look at where the club are now, and looks like they're heading for the Premier League, he's got to look at it from a decision as a footballer and think it was the right decision for him to make.
Absolutely. Southampton will want to get another win on the board here, though, which probably brings us to the score predictions, right? I'm always negative, but when I predict Cov to lose, they win. So maybe I might keep that up. Callum, I'm coming to you first. So what do you reckon?
I kind of want to go other way now, but I'm going to go Coventry 2-1.
Okay.
They've got too much going forward.
Yeah.
Is how I would look at it.
Certainly both teams probably likely to score, aren't they?
Yeah, surely. Because Coventry, I doubt they'd come and just be happy with a point. With the run that they're on at minute and confidence that they've got, you'd think they can just beat anybody, wouldn't you?
I think that aggression is a really important factor you touch on. Settling for a draw has never really been a thing for Cov this season. Middlesbrough away, we looked like we'd lost the game. They'd come back from 2-0 down to get to 2-2. Still went on and scored 2 late goals to win the game 4-2. I think that is why you see the gap at the top of the league. 2-1 Cov, by the way. 9-1 on Betfred. Producer Seb tells me. What about you, Lee? What do you reckon?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 win as well. And I think when you're a side like Coventry and you're at the top of the league and you're used to playing on the front foot, I don't think you go out and you're set up for a draw. And I think if you start doing that, gives the wrong message to your team as well, to say, Southampton a bit better than us and we just want to sit in. And I don't think Lampard would want to give that message, not just for that game, but for going forward as well. He wouldn't want to put that doubt into players' minds. So I think it would be all out attack, go and play the way you can, and if you're on that front foot, we'll go and win the game.
Yeah, I'm going to look like such a miserable little man now, because Southampton score a lot of goals at home. 3 goals they've scored in their last 4 home games, and Coventry concede a lot of chances. So I'm going to suggest that Southampton score 3 goals yet again. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Southampton win, which is 16-1 on Betfred, by the way. And I think I'm just saying that to
in your Coventry hoodie. Yeah.
in my Coventry hoodie. I think I'm just protecting myself a little bit, but I think it'll be a great game. And if Coventry do win this game, Lee, what a massive statement that is, and that'll be 50 points before Christmas.
Yeah, and I think that sort of sets you on your way to that. You're more or less there, aren't you? And you can
calm down.
I do think it is, and we know the Christmas period, isn't it? When we get past that New Year, we sort of say the league settles into where it's going to be then. So if you go into that Christmas period and you come out of it where you've done really well, I think that sets you up to say, you know, we're nearly there now. Let's just keep plugging away, and I do think Coventry will win the league. Oh,
that's exciting stuff. Nearly at the halfway point, by the way, in the Championship, Callum. How do you assess the promotion race, especially with Coventry?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if Coventry don't get top 2. Middlesbrough look really good. Everybody keeps referencing your Ipswich and Southamptons and that, and maybe Birmingham I'd put in there as well as someone that I'd expect to do better than what they are. But for biggest threat, Ipswich are, 13 points behind Coventry. So I think, yeah, you've done it. You can't fail. You literally cannot lose.
Southampton, though, playoff contenders, certainly in the conversation, 100%. Yeah.
Well, since he's took job over, they've been really good, haven't they? Form-wise, they're winning a lot of games. They lost to Norwich away in Millwall. But yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't get in there as well. 4 points off 6, yeah. Yeah,
well in it. Right, we're approaching the busy Christmas period. Thank you all very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Get your comments down below. What do you think the score prediction is going to be for Southampton versus Coventry? Massive game this weekend. Lee, thank you very much for joining me. Callum as well. We'll be back on Monday for our Christmas special of the Sportsman Untitled. Callum, you're on that as well. I think you're coming on Monday, aren't you? You will
for summer. Yeah. I don't know what for, but I'm here.
You'll be here. Lee, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. See you on Monday.